You can probably go ahead, Michael.
Okay, great.
Welcome to Creating Community. My name is Kari Spicer. I am the rep for the Salt Lake Violins and the host of Creating Community. Creating Community is a monthly get-together for the Suzuki Association of Utah Teachers, and for those that are interested in becoming part of the Suzuki teacher community. This coming year, we have a lot of new and exciting changes that are happening, and so we have today our SAU President, Brianne Christensen, here to tell us about those. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Brianne.
All right. Thank you, Kari. Thanks for being here, everybody. I am so excited to share with you the changes that are happening. And I know that change can be a bad word to some people. It can be scary and hard to wrap your mind around, but there are some really, really neat things happening with registration and membership, and ultimately really just the future of SAU. So I'm really excited to be here. We are going to talk about kind of our vision for SAU first and the resources that we have. Then we'll get to the logistics and things of registration and our website update. So first, I just want to read the SAU Mission Statement to you, and you can look and see if you can see the Suzuki triangle in this statement. So the purpose of the SAU, our mission is, as teachers, parents, and individuals, is to make quality music education available to children following Dr. Suzuki's philosophy of talent education. We provide workshops, training events, and scholarships to encourage teachers' development through mentoring. The SAU assists families in creating a positive home environment through workshops, musical events, newsletters, and student scholarships for the musical development of children. So the SAU is the largest membership-wise and geographic-wise chapter of the Suzuki Association of the Americas. And we have a really long history of Suzuki events, workshops, institute celebrations, and graduations here in Utah. My experience in the SAU, though, over the past 10 years has made me start to wonder if the SAU organization has shifted from its original functionality of benefiting this triangle equally to maybe serving the children more at the expense of the teachers. So what my vision is for the SAU is that it can again become an organization that supports the teachers as well as continuing to provide the students and parents the rich educational opportunities that it typically has. So teachers, I want the organization to serve you rather than you feeling like you have to serve in the organization as much as maybe you have felt in the past. So kind of that mission in mind, we're going to talk about resources. Our money, members, and time are the resources that we're going to talk about. So we need to increase each of these to make better use of our resources in order to make our vision a possibility. So when you think about resources, obviously, the first and foremost is our financial resources. So this will be kind of our largest topic of when we're talking about resources. For just sort of your information and kind of for the sake of transparency, I wanted to let you know that the SAU has been operating at a deficit for many years. We all know the basic financial principle that you need to spend less than you make. But unfortunately, SAU has not been doing that for quite a while. The organization has been functioning by dipping into this nest egg. We had a big chunk of savings that past board presidents had set up to use for our celebration fund. That nest egg has been greatly depleted. And so SAU cannot function as it needs to and continue this practice. So there are 4 ways that the board is working to improve our financial resources. The very first is this year, the board back in June decided to raise family membership dues by $5 and charge for each sibling after the first child another $5. SAU has historically spent more on its students than the students and their families have contributed through dues. So this was the first, like the most logical first step in increasing our financial resources. And again, with our vision of better serving the teachers, we decided not to raise teacher dues at this time. Okay, so we've also been cutting administrative costs. Over the past 3 years under Nicole's presidency, the SAU board worked to save money by cutting as many administrative costs as possible. Teachers were volunteering to do things without compensation. We cut down from 4 printed newsletters to 3, which saved on printing costs, editing, and postage, which is a lot more than you would expect for a large organization. We were working to cut down on transaction fees and just hosting our old website, discontinuing the use of apps and subscriptions that we weren't needing anymore. So all of these things have been very helpful, but it hasn't been enough to still cover our expenses. Third, we added in the last couple of years, I'm sure that this was a thing in the beginning of SAU, but we've added back in a fundraising chair, a dedicated fundraising chair to help us balance the budget. And help us add to our resources. Last year, Danny Stoneman was our fundraising chair, and she was able to get us SAU awarded a small grant. We now have Abby Dreer in that position and are hoping that she can help us. She's applying for more grants that we are hoping to use for our upcoming celebration, as well as just for our normal operating costs. We really appreciate all their efforts. That has been a huge resource for us. So speaking of celebration, this is the final thing that we have been talking about to help with increasing our financial reach. More information on celebration is coming, more details. That's not what this video is about, but we've made 2 decisions that will help SAU be more responsible financially. With regards to celebration. So first, we are going to bump celebration back a year. Typically, we would have it on the 2025, but we're going to aim for 2026, fall of 2026. And we are looking carefully at how to simplify a lot of the celebration logistics while still capturing the most important elements that teachers and families have expressed that are important to them about celebration. So these are all the things that we have been doing as a board to kind of help out with our financial resources. Even so, I have talked to many of you. I know that you are still, as teachers, concerned about the family membership dues increasing and that families are now needing to pay per student. So I'm going to address that concern. I'm going to take you through a few more slides that the board has thought through when we were making this decision. So here we go. First, we just ran a report and found that more than 60% of our SAU families only have 1 child. And then another 25% you see here in orange only has 2 children. So the reality of this raise, the membership price raise, is that most families are only going to experience a $5 to $10 increase over their dues from last year. I know that doesn't account for the smaller percentage that do have large families, because that is a reality that this organization believes in the philosophy of every child can, and we want to make sure that it's available to every child. So as a studio teacher, you are closest to your families, and we want to encourage you to be creative with how you can help families that have that have more than 1 child or more than 2, and see if you can come up with ways to help them. You know their needs the best. But if there is a situation where there is a large family that is having a really hard time making this work, please contact me directly and we can work something out. We do not want to lose a single family if we can help it. Okay. Next, I just wanted to emphasize again the percentage of our membership that makes up the SAU. So not surprisingly, this big blue chunk is students. Over 54% of our organization membership is of students, and then the orange is parents. Got and then last is teachers. We've got 6% that are teachers, and even a tiny small percent that are parents and teachers together. Okay, so we are wanting to focus on this 6% of our members, these teachers that have been bearing a lot of the work in running SAU, and we want to be able to give back to them and help them feel like they have their needs met. So SAU teachers have been so generous, and more often than not, I see teachers donating more time and money than what they have gotten in return. However, we have lost some teachers along the way that have felt compelled to donate more than what they could. And again, we do not want to lose members, teachers, or families. So we want to hang on to those that we have and really take care of everyone, and make sure that the SAU is doing the job that it says that it does. So here's one more look. This is the third piece that we were looking at as we were increasing family memberships dues. And I want to show you, this is the projected expenses for SAU for this next year, which is pretty typical of what we've had in past years. So you can see that we've got 25% goes towards our regional activities, super activities, graduations, all of that. When I was the piano VP and like the regional, helped out in the regional reps, I was like, oh, I'd heard SAU, we need to save as much money as we can. And so we were really careful to stay within our budget. And all regions have been doing a good job at staying within budget. But you can see that it's only like a quarter of the expenses that we have. We have a big chunk that goes to newsletter expenses, even though we've cut down on that. This big chunk of professional fees, this is about 25% as well. That is honorariums for the administrative board. There are 4 or 5 administrative board members that get a little compensation, but also it represents money set aside for training of the leadership, including the SAA Leadership Conference, and putting like Abby is going to take a fundraising class. So some things that will help the leadership be able to better serve. We have, as a board, wanted to focus our efforts on increasing our ability to spend money on scholarships. That's one of our priorities, as well as advertising. But right now you can see advertising is about 1% of our expenses and scholarships are 3%. So oops, I just lost my notes here. So besides expenses, I also wanted to give you a little vision of what our income is projected this year. 75% of our income comes from membership dues. And then we get a little tiny bit from advertisement and some from convention, but we have this 14% right here. We are hoping to make that much in grants or other donations, but that's a pretty lofty goal. That is not typical of what we have had as income in the past. So this is our projected amount that we need to make, even after raising our membership dues. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to be transparent about like the financial resources that SAU has. And if you have any specific questions, you are welcome to like unmute and interrupt me or put it in the chat. But those are kind of the numbers and the things that we've been considering. If you have like contacts with any sponsors, businesses, people who might be interested in donating, contact Abby at fundraising@suzukimusicutah.org, because I'm sure she would love to hear about it. So next we have our most important resource, is our membership. Okay, especially our teacher membership. And so our goals as the board is to help increase this resource by we want to provide more teacher resources. We want to increase our leadership numbers so that we can spread out the workload and promote the Suzuki method and provide training for new teachers. So as far as teacher resources goes, we have done a lot, even just this last year. This web series, Creating Communities, was created just this year for teachers as a new benefit. And it started as an attempt, and we want to move towards being able to provide mentoring for new teachers or teachers who just feel like they need navigating through the SAU. Our new librarian is digitizing the SAU library. We have a large amount of materials and supplies, and so she's trying to get as much digitized as possible so that we can access it easier. We have added our teacher scholarships and grant money back into our budget. We have a partnership with El Sistema that we have been able to use facilities of American Preparatory Academy. And Nicole has worked hard with the Gifted Music School as well to help solidify a partnership. Benefits to teachers that come from this partnership is we are invited to participate in several of their workshops, and you'll see that there's been advertising with regards to these workshops in our newsletters. Also, they invite our students to come to their activities, and we also can have access to their facilities if there is a need and if it's available for our use. So those are some teacher resources that we have just recently been including. So look at all of these beautiful teachers. I love working with so many amazing people. Does anybody have any questions about those new resources that I talked about, or questions so far? Looks like we're good. Go ahead and jump in if you have any questions. So we just got a new VP of guitar. This wasn't necessarily a board vacancy, but we just had a new member of our board join us, Rebecca Burris. Again, Abby is our fundraising chair. Felicia joined as our librarian, but we still have a few positions that are open. So we don't have a VP of piano right now or of early childhood education. And we would love to get a publicity chair and a parent chair. Those are two positions that are on in our policies, and we don't have any right now. So if you or someone you know would like to help out with leadership, you can let me know. We're trying to get some of the people who have interest submitted by October 1st, so then we can review the possibilities and see who we can add on. Here's some more amazing pictures of teachers. I love it. Lucky to have such good colleagues. Fun activities. All right, so the third way that we want to help increase our membership is we are trying to promote the Suzuki method. Last year, we were able to get a brand new region in the SAU up in Cache Valley. And in Cache Valley, we were able to sponsor an ECC class in January as part of convention. And this coming month in September, September 20th and 21st, there is a spa class being held up in Cache Valley. Registration is still open for that, and there still are a few spots. Registration closes next Friday, just one more week. So if you're interested, you could go to the Suzuki Association of America's website to register and pay for that. But also, I have been I've been going to UMTA, which is one of our state organizations. Just as a participant in this year, I'm presenting and get to kind of have some exposure for Suzuki. I'm hoping that we can have booths at like ASTA and UMTA and different places. We've tried to collaborate with universities a little bit, and there's always more to do in this area. So again, if you would like to help, let me know. Finally, I just want to talk briefly about time as our resource. During Nicole's presidency, there were so many administrative processes that were just improved and tweaked to help save members and board members time. We went for a lot from paper applications and information to digital. We got a Google Drive set up where we moved all of our stuff over to there. We started better budgeting and tracking, improving the website, which is still ongoing. So updating expired licenses and just updating our bylaws, making sure everything was very solid so that we can function even better. So we really appreciate Nicole and the board that she worked with to do that. But again, all of this was really to help improve our use of time. Same thing with updating the website. We are currently updating it to help save us money, but also mostly saving time of current and future board members. So really all of these changes and all of the things that we're going to be talking about kind of boils down to, we want to make sure that our teachers, who are our most precious resource, get more time so that they can spend more time doing what they do best, which is teach, instead of trying to worry about running the Suzuki organization of Utah. So, okay, that was a lot of information about why we've made changes to the process. But I know that most of you are here because you want to know about registration and what is happening with registration. How do we make this happen? So that is what we're going to talk about now. And again, this process is really to help save you teachers time. So a couple of things that are brand new. We've already talked about the family dues have increased, and then families are also going to be able to register themselves. This simplifies a process that has been very complicated and labor intensive on the board end of things. The SAU teachers dues stayed the same at this time. They are $35 during the membership drive during September, and then any other time outside of September, they are $45. That has all stayed the same. However, the Suzuki Association of America just raised their dues. And so I wanted to just clarify that. We need to be members of both organizations per our bylaws and the bylaws of SAA. We as organization members need to join both organizations. And I just wanted to be clear that those dues have increased. So teacher registration is really a simple process. You're going to, it's not available on the website yet, but beginning September 1, so in 2 days, you will be able to go onto the website, just click the registration link. You'll fill out a really basic form with your information, email, all of that. Click what information you would like to have available on the website for people to find. And then there's going to be a link that takes you to the SAA page, the Suzuki Association of America, to update your registration with them. So you'll need to be able to update your registration with the SAA before finishing your SAU registration. So like I said, the SAA dues went up, and the deadline for renewing the SAA dues at the old price was August 1st. But we were able to negotiate with the SAA a way for Suzuki Association of Utah members to keep the old rate, even though that deadline has passed. So when you go to click on the link to SAA, there will be a coupon code as in the registration that you just need to copy and paste on the Suzuki Association of America's page. So you will still be able to get the $80 for one more year. So that is a really nice benefit. Part of the agreement, though, is that you will join SAU and SAA during the month of September. Outside of that, you would have to pay the regular fees. So when you're on the SAA website, you're going to collect your membership number. And the form that you're going to be filling out kind of gives you some details on that. So it'll help you find it when you're at SAA. You're going to need that to finish your registration on the SAU page. At the very end of this video, I'm going to go all the way through this live with you watching. If you're interested in that, then stick clear to the video. But for those of you who don't necessarily want to see a tutorial, I'm just going through this first. Linda, the new SAU dues, SAA, teacher dues for an active teacher are $96. And so you're saving $16 by registering with SAU during the membership drive. But just know that next year, when it's time to renew SAA, we will all be at that $96. So they're just giving us this benefit for one additional year because our membership drive was after their deadline for registering for the old price. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, so you'll enter your information, pay $35 dues at the SAU. And then part of if you have your own children, if you're a parent and a teacher, then there is a question that says, I need to register my own children. After you finish your teacher registration, you'll get an email with a registration link to register your own kids. And you will not have to pay for your family registration. That's one of the benefits of a teacher membership. So are there any questions so far about the teacher registration? I think we got Linda answered. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, I'm going to jump through the family registration first. And next, you don't have to do this part. This is one of the good changes. It's that you will not need to go in and register your families and put in all their information. And eventually, your families are going to be able to get their own login and information on the website. Our website is still under construction, so they won't get their own login this year, but they are entering in their information so that they will be in our database. When they go, I failed to say, back on our teacher registration, you will also get an email when you finish registering with a link and a password to give to your families. So in order for us to hook you up with your families, you need to register as a teacher first. Okay. So when we go to our family registration, they are going to click the link from you and get a password that you give them, and they will log into the website using that password. Okay. They fill out a form collecting their most basic information. They enter each child separately, and each child can have up to 3 instruments and teachers connected to them. So, I teach a family that takes from Denise Willie for strings, and they take piano lessons from me. So, they, as a family, they can add up to 3 teachers and instruments per child, which is a change and will help us keep track of things much easier. So the families will need to make sure to spell your name and email address correctly in order to get connected. So that's an important note. They will enter their payment information, pay $40 for their first child, and then $5 for each additional child. There's a little asterisk here. They might enter a coupon code received from their teacher if their teacher pays for them. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Every time a student registers under your name, you will get an email saying this person registered, and you'll get a separate email for every child so you can keep track of which students in your studio have registered with SAU. So I think one more Right. This option is only, so the asterisk is only if a teacher is continuing to collect SAU registration dues as part of their tuition. I know that has for a long time been the process. And so some teachers have already collected their dues. And so they want to be able to pay for their families. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But before we move on to that, I wanted to address another topic of concern. I've had a lot of teachers tell me that they're worried that families won't go register themselves because they've never had to. So I just want to talk a few points. First, I just want to suggest that you trust your families. I think that they will do more than you think. This is new for all of us, but I just want you to extend that trust first. I think some of that hesitation, we kind of have this old mentality that as teachers, we have to get our parents to do certain things, or, maybe they looked at us like the boss and we have to tell them what to do. But I feel like our relationship as parents and teachers is changing. And a lot of our, it's a different dynamic than when the Suzuki method started out in the United States. So if we're still trying to kind of have that approach of like, we have to tell you what to do, and then we might get a little bit more resistance. These parents they're adults and they are our partners in the Suzuki Triangle. Many of them already know how to advocate for themselves if they need any assistance or accommodations, financially or otherwise. So I just encourage you to lead with trust. However, I do know that there are families who are special circumstances. They have either financial or time difficulties or language barriers, so I know that there are some other situations. So you are definitely, as their teacher, more than welcome to walk them through this process. I know several teachers are planning on taking like the first or the last 5 minutes of lessons just to double check that the families have registered with SAA or SAU, excuse me. And if you need to have a laptop set up there that they can do their registration, while you're finishing up with the student, you are very welcome to help them through this process. Also, the way you deliver this information is really important. If we approach the families apologetically, like, oh, we're really sorry that, the price has increased and, oh, you have to do this, then they might feel like SAU doesn't have anything that benefits them. And they might start to doubt like, oh, well, why are we doing this? But SAU really does benefit families and parents and students. And sometimes the parents choose not to cash in on those benefits. They don't participate in the activities or the recitals, but they are benefited. If you need a reminder of SAU benefits for parents, we can talk about that later, or I have, there's a parent meetup video that we made at the end of July that you're welcome to watch or send to your parents to watch. I have a flyer that talks about their specific benefits. So if you need help with that, if you're unsure what the benefit is, let me know. But again, our delivery as we talk to the parents about joining SAU is important. So I suggest that you come to them with a positive attitude and excitement and being willing to help them. That will help a lot. So one other thing I wanted to mention is the bottom line is that teachers that are members of the Suzuki Association of Utah are obligated, they do have an obligation to make sure their families are also members of the organization. That is listed in our bylaws. And this is the way it needs to be in order for us to function, honestly. If you think back to the chart of our income, we need all of those family dues to function. Our membership dues are our huge source of income. So yeah, those families might decide not to participate in graduation or other activities and take up resources that they don't attend. But even as a teacher being registered, your membership dues are not, let's see, the resources that you take up and the benefits that you receive are also covered by your family's memberships. So that's kind of how it's always just been set up. Like that 6% of 6% of our organization that are teachers, if that's all the membership we get, it's not going to be enough to cover all the resources. So it's not, as is any budget, it's not like it just a straight in student membership money gets them this much out. It's a joint effort. And so we really do need these memberships in order to function. So I just really feel like, again, I'm going to go back. Parents are going to get on board if they see that you value the organization because they value you as a teacher. And so that is my spiel on the family memberships. Do you have any questions besides what to do if you collect your family's dues? We're going to get to that next. So any questions so far? I really like doing discussion lessons. So like doing a big presentation like this is really uncomfortable for me. So really, I invite your questions. Celine, were you going to ask something?
Yes. Well, I'm going to say that I blew it I received the email saying that they needed to register.
Uh-huh.
And I sent it off, and all my diligent families tried to figure out how to register. They needed my code. I didn't make it clear that you can't do this till September 1st. And so I've got everybody on edge with my misinterpretation. So
yeah, that's okay. And I did get your email. I hope you got mine back with that. It will. And
thank you.
All of this is, all of this is new. The communication that has come from the board hasn't been 100% clear. I know we've been sending little bits of information along the way, but because we're also updating the website, it just hasn't been as clear cut and simple as we would have hoped. So thank you for being patient with us.
We appreciate your work.
Oh, thank you. The website will open September 1. You will be able to register as a teacher, and immediately you'll get a receipt email that has that code that you can pass on to your diligent families that are ready and waiting. So just tell them, wait until next week. You should be ready to go. But I do love that example. I really will encourage you as teachers to get registered as soon as possible so that your families can register early. And then we can take care of any issues that arise. We don't want to wait till the end of the month. I know that our web administrator will be so happy if we do that, and our membership secretary. So sooner better than later. All right. I am going to talk about this much needed question. So several teachers have already collected dues as part of their tuition during the summer. Or just part of the routine because that's what they do, and so we've done this for years. So SAU is officially encouraging teachers to phase out of this practice. It will help clean up our processes. It will help clean up our data. It will help clean up confusion. So that's my official statement. Try to phase out of that. However, for this first year, again, I know that there are situations that are going to require this. So what is going to happen is if you are in this situation, you would like to pay for your families this year, first thing that you need to do is email Tana Lynn at membership@suzukimusicutah.org. She is going to provide you a registration link and password to use. This form is not available just by clicking on the SAU website. You have to get it from Tana Lynn. So that's the first thing to do. Next, once you get that link and the password, it'll be pretty similar to the other teacher registration form. You just fill out your information, but you will need to enter in families' names and emails. Each family has an option of adding up to 15 children. So I hope that will be enough. I don't think we have any families that have 15 children, but anyway, there's the option. Make sure that you get their correct email address because that is where their registration code will go. Okay. And then you're going to repeat 2 and 3 for each family. So you're going to fill out a different form for each family, and then you will be able to pay and check out for each of those families, as well as your own teacher fee. Okay. Families are going to receive an email to that email address that you entered with a coupon code. And so they, in addition, like back in the other teacher registration step, they get an email with a link and a password to enter to be able to register. In this case, they will also have a coupon code so that they won't have to pay since you paid for them. And they will enter the coupon code in step 4 of their registration process. So it is a little bit more involved process for both the teachers and the families and for the board, as we have to kind of separate things out. There's also this case that if you are going to collect dues from your families and their children play more than one instrument taught by another registered SAU teacher, you're going to need a completely different registration format. So you'll need to work directly with Tana Lynn about that. That's where it gets tricky. So trying to figure out who's going to pay for what and how they're going to get paid for. So you'll need to talk to Tana Lynn. Either way, if you would like just to be able to have this access to the registration form to pay for your family, or if you need to have this other special case. So Tamara Baca is, I hope I say her name right. I should just throw out, is been so amazing. She created a little tutorial on YouTube for this special case, the teacher collecting the family's dues. And I can give you that link. It's actually right here on the slide if you want to jot it down. There is an underscore here, capital Y, capital C, underscore. So just make sure you grab that if you want to look at it. Or again, at the end of the video, we can maybe step through that if you need to. So here is also the SAA dues schedule. But while we're looking at that, does anybody have questions at this point?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So what if most of my families will be able to handle this, but I have some that may not be able to handle this? Can I split that up and just do the coupon code for, I think I might have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 that might not be able to handle this, because for one thing, I don't know that they do credit cards, and so I don't know that they have a way. I mean, I can sit with them here in the studio and help them, but how are they going to pay if they don't have a credit card?
So I would. Sorry, did I cut you off?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I would do that first, sit with them in the studio and kind of get to that point. And if they really don't have a way of paying online and digitally, then yeah, this would be a good use case where you could go back and do, you could have them pay you in cash, and then you could fill out this form. And when you, so what I would do, like, I guess the very first step is go clear back, register yourself as a teacher. So those families who can do it on their own can have access, to the website, and they can register, and then walk through your other families in your studio. And if you get to the payment and they're unable to do it, go ahead and contact Tana Lynn. The only question about that is, she might, if you've already paid and registered as a teacher, you will not want to pay and register again, with the other form. So she should be able to give you a coupon code or help you work that out. But yes, my answer is you can definitely have those of your families that can register do themselves. And then if you run into any problems, there is that option to do as many as you need. Does that sound good?
Okay.
That answer?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
So is there any other way that they can pay besides with a credit card? I don't think they do Venmo either, but if they did do Venmo, could they do that?
No, SAU stopped. Thank you, Kirsten. Let me know if you have any other questions. And this will be up on YouTube afterwards. There is not. The SAU had a Venmo account, but we were trying to get everything out of personal accounts. And so we only have, as part of the registration process, a credit card. And we could, they could maybe do a direct deposit if we worked directly with our, I'm trying to find a pen so I can write this down and remember. If we work with Stacy and with Tana Lynn, they might be able to work that out. So let me look into that.
Okay.
Do they have PayPal?
Yes, SAU does have PayPal. So let's look. I'm going to go through a registration demo, and yeah, a debit card should work too, Nicole says. But we'll go look at the registration right now and see if there's a PayPal option on the checkout. Is there any other questions about that?
Can I make a suggestion for someone that doesn't have a credit card? Linda,
Yes.
I don't know how your students pay you if they without like a credit card, but if you're doing this with them in their lesson at your house, could they sign themselves up and then could you use your credit card and then they can pay you that money? That seems maybe like it would be a little simpler and maybe less work to try to figure all this other stuff out with an alternative way how to get payment. Just an idea.
That's a
Does
great
that
idea.
work?
Yeah,
You don't
that
mind if I use my credit card to pay for theirs?
No, we will not store credit card information that I don't believe on the website. So yeah, if you want to just put in your credit card information when you help them register, that would be great.
That would be so much simpler.
Yeah, let's try that. I will just double check with our web people with Tamara, our web queen, Tamara, to make sure that's good. But I think that I don't see any problem with that. So before I head over, I know that some of you might want to jump off when I start doing the tutorial. So I just want to show a few slides really quick. I'm really, really excited about our website update. I know our website has gotten updated several times over the past several years, but what we're doing, again, we're trying to reduce work for board members, accurately track benefits, income and expense reports will be way more accurate, and reduce the workload on you, individual teachers. And also, we hope that it's going to be sustainable for board members who do not have a tech background. This is a pretty simple website. It's a WordPress site. So when we don't have tech or Tamara and Tony working for us. So this is what it looks like. You are free to go and roam around. It is up. You just can't pay. You can't subscribe. Can't do membership yet, but this is where you will go when you want to join SAU. You can scroll down and you can see that it has options for teachers, families, and partnerships like El Sistema and GMS. You still have to, you'll find where it says join as a family up here. There's listed a whole bunch of benefits for your membership. It looks really nice. One of the things I really wanted to highlight, though, is number one, look up at this page and you can see right above where it says join SAU, we have an American flag and we have a Mexico flag and we have a Chinese flag. Our website can be translated into Spanish and Chinese currently. So isn't that so cool? I'm so happy for that. Also, once you get your registration taken care of and your families are registered, they will get a password to be able to enter this part of the site for SAU members only. You'll access it by clicking up on this tab that says resources, and one of the drop downs is going to be member site. And on the membership only site, part of the website, you will have access to all of the recordings of the Creating Community and Parent Meetups. So far, they've been just like live on YouTube, but we are going to make those private so that only You can only access them through this part of the website. Also, that digitized SAU library. Look at this. I am so excited about this. Felicia has inventoried all of our library, and over here on the left, you'll see this spreadsheet, and you can scroll down and it has it all divided up by instrument and topic and kind of materials. And then you can submit a library book request form or materials, and she will send it to you. This is just a screenshot, but if you scroll down there, you could click have her call me or email me or just send it in the mail. And so I'm really excited about the availability of our library. Also in the membership sections are scholarship applications for students and teachers, as well as an archive of all of our past newsletters. Okay, so I'm really excited about our updated website. Okay, so after I want you to today talk to your families about registering. I want you to register starting Monday, and then keep following up with your families all the way through September. You will get those emails to let you know who registered and who did not. So I am going to switch over now to the website. You can see that. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to go through a registration process. We are like right at the end of our time here. So if you feel like you don't need to see this, you are welcome to go. But before you do, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat or interrupt me. And I'm just going to go through a quick registration here. So here we go. I clicked on Join SAU. This page came up. I'm a teacher, so I'm just going to stay here under teacher membership. Okay, I'm going to join as a teacher. Oh, I need a password. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so I am here on the registration page. So again, this is the teacher registration form. Please complete all the fields below. So here is the SAA link, and it says don't forget to use the coupon code. So the coupon code is all the way down here. I'm going to go ahead and just copy it and then click on the website over here. Okay, so this is the Suzuki Association of Americas. I would need to log in with my username and password. Remember my password. So, oh, here I am. Do you see? Okay, so here's the SAA website. You will log in up here, and then you will click on become a member. I'm trying to right here, learn more, active membership. Okay, here is the membership information. You'll just put in your account information. If you're logged in, then it should just recognize you. But right here, it says click here to enter your discount code. Okay, I put in that discount code and apply it. You see that now the Price's membership goes down to 80 instead of 96. Okay, so you fill out all of this information, submit and check out, and you will be set to go. You will need to get your SAA membership number. So I do better. Quickly. Sorry about this. I should have been logged in already. Okay. Logging in. Well, the SAA site is not working very well for me. So I'm going to let that think for a minute. I'm going to come back here to SAU. I will have gotten my membership number, my SAA membership number. I'm going to fill out all my personal information. I'm going to click yes, I want my email address to be displayed online. I'm going to, enter my email. Do I want my phone number displayed? Yes, I do. I'm going to add my address, Utah, zip code. Okay, down here, you need to choose the counties that you teach in. Okay, so I can teach in Utah County, Beaver County, Davis County. Okay, and that is going to be listed on my teaching page. Yes, I just renewed my SAA membership, and my number, I'm going to put right there. I'm going to see if I can find it here for you. Nope, my SAA site is not working still. So I'm just making up that number. Right here underneath, though, it tells you where on the SAA website you can find this. Okay. Also, you can click right here. I can't find it. Can I see a screenshot? And it will tell you exactly what it will look like on the SAA page to find that number. Always, you can contact membership at suzukimusicutah.org if you need help with this section. Okay, that's probably the most complicated part of this whole process, is just finding your SAA membership.
So does that SAA membership ever change? Like if I know what it was 10 years ago, is it still the same?
Still the same. Yep.
If I just have it stored somewhere, I can just pull it out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Good question. Okay. Now down here, you're going to choose your instruments. Please only select instruments for which you are registered with the SAA. Okay, because this will put you into a region of that instrument. And if you don't actually teach Suzuki in that instrument, make sure that you only put, it would complicate the way you're displayed. So only choose the instruments you're registered with SAA. You choose your regions that you teach in. Are you currently accepting new students? Yes. Are you a board member? No. Are you a past president? No. Do you need to register your own children? I'm, for the sake of time, going to click no. Oh boy. I didn't put in my email, so that's going to send me back up here to do that. It gave me that, so I'm going to try again. What else am I missing? Oh, I didn't put my name in. Okay, now I'm going to try and submit it one more time. Very good. So this will take me now to the checkout page. See, my active membership is $35. I have one active membership. Put in my email one more time. And then I put in my credit card number. My credit card number is invalid because I made it up. But oh, she told me that this was going to be a test site. Anyway, it's not going to let me submit, but it does not look like it has an option to have PayPal, to log into PayPal to pay. So I think if that needs to be an option, contact our membership secretary. But once I hit submit, I would get a screen that says thank you for registering, and look for an email to send to your parents. So, can a teacher in training join SAU? Good question. I believe so, but there was not really a spot for them to check what they're doing. So I would say they could still just register as a teacher and go ahead and put the one instrument that they are planning on teaching and getting training for. And and the region that they live in. Probably they might click no, I'm not accepting new students. It's not going to break anything if they are not registered with SAA. I shouldn't have said that because then people are going to put it. They should be okay to click an instrument that they have not registered with the SAA for now. So does that answer your question, Linda?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions before we sign off? I know we are out of time, but I want to make sure to answer anybody's questions if you've got them. Okay, again, just a little timeline. We have our today Creating Community membership drive is in September, and then October we'll come out with our official budget for the year. So we are always available after this call. If you have questions during registration, contact membership. Payment issues, you can talk to finance at suzukimusicutah.org. Website issues is admin. Donors and sponsors, again, fundraising. And then if you have any other things, then you can contact me. And Nicole reminded me that we did used to have an apprenticeship membership type that is not available right now. So maybe that's what you were thinking, Linda, like for a cheaper price. We do not have that option right now. So
I don't care about a cheaper price. I just
okay.
want
You just wondered about the website.
I want her to get involved and
Yeah.
better.
Okay, perfect. If you don't have any other questions, thank you again so much for being here, for all you do as teachers. And again, reach out if you have any questions or